actually. The Alinity just got banned. She had an oopsie. She lifted up her shirt and accidentally showed her nipple. And was banned. I think it's a 72-hour ban, is from what I'm hearing from Twitter.
Jesus.
So I'm curious.
I have a theory.
I'm curious of your thoughts and I guess theories.
I could go first because
Bob,
I just want to say
Bob knows everything about this.
I think that this, it was an accident because, it was an unsexy nip slip. And to be clear, I'm not saying that her nipple or boob.
Bob, please,
I'm not saying that
do
it's
me a favor,
unsexy.
Bob, and let's avoid talking about descriptively
I'm not saying that it is unsexy. I know that some people would make the argument that if the nipple was good enough, any nip slip
Bob,
would be
I'm not gonna engage in a discussion regarding the look of her nipple at all.
No,
okay, Bob?
I'm saying
we're gonna move on from that right away. I don't care if it's a joke. I don't care about anything.
I think it was an accident, man.
Okay, then get to that and stop bouncing around this stupid shit.
Can I talk?
Stop bouncing around.
I'm saying that it was not. It wasn't. It wasn't hot. So
what do you mean bouncing around, Raj?
Well, Hassan, you know what I mean, okay?
Wow.
Look, it's about the ban, right? We're talking about the ban. Look, she's hated. She deserves the ban. She needs to stop throwing her cat around. She deserved it. There's other people who have been banned for less. It's as simple as that. She deserved the ban. She got the ban. She acts all fucking tough about it and shit like that, but she's running some animal facilities, bro.
I just don't even understand what the fuck is going on over at Twitch, because at the end of the day, I've said this many times, if you have an accidental fucking wardrobe malfunction once or twice in your fucking entire streaming career, fine, shit happens. The idea that this person serially has these accidents every fucking month, it's getting fucking absurd now. We've gone beyond the point of fucking absurdity. And whatever happened to this cumulative bans that we fucking heard so much about? That every time you had a transgression, they were meant to get worse and worse and worse until you eventually got permed. It's weird how that works for some streamers and not for fucking others, isn't it?
That
right? Really fucking weird. Really weird how some motherfuckers, they go straight in with indefinites, like happened to my boy Wes the other day for making a joke, like happened to Casey Tron, who just fucking left. Meanwhile, Alinity has an accidental. Oh, now the dog's sniffing my fucking minge again. Whoopsie! Every fucking week with this fucking broad.
I do want to say,
and she gets a 24-hour ban again. It's absolute fucking.
I'm okay with it, and I'll tell you why. Because I consider
my fucking embarrassed, dude. It's a fucking joke.
I just want to say I do consider myself a horny feminist, so the free the nipple movement is very important to me, and I think that there should be equality of nipples on Twitch.
Why does that attach to your horny feminism? How about we just allow it to not be sexualized?
So that's the thing. It's
hold on, let Bob finish, Lumi. Let Bob finish, and then I'll let you go respond to him.
Logically, I want to have equality, right? But I can't admit, I need to, I'm a little biased, right? Do I like seeing nipples? Yeah, that's awesome. So logically, I think that it should be equal, but I also have to acknowledge sometimes it could be hot.
Okay, Lumi, go ahead and respond.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair enough. However, my concern is that it's okay, as a horny feminist, I want you to have your freedom to have your boobs free, right? And that's a little concerning to me because part of the problem is that over-sexualization.
Yeah, I agree.
So we have societies where it's not sexualized for women to have their boobs out. And then I'm also in this weird place where May 4th, I get to go and get my gender-confirming breast reduction, right? And I'm in this weird spot where it's they say feminine presenting nipples. Where am I at with that? Is it once I'm on testosterone? Is it once I have my partial reduction? These are really weird rules to enforce. So let's just make it easy and allow it to be equal. Both men and women can have their nipples out.
I agree.
At the time that men can, women can. And then I don't have this weird thing when I'm when am I leaning away from femme presenting enough to have my shirt off when I'm working out or whenever it's I don't know if that's a case with Twitch right now that's acceptable.
All right, let me say something.
Go ahead, Twomad.
Look, the real question is this. Twitch has some elite retards in charge of their shit. They're making rules that don't make any sense. They're freezing their streamers in anxiety bubbles. What? Can I not say the R word?
Just don't. It's gonna be. It's the next word to go. So just don't. Just don't say.
They're giving their streamers anxiety, stopping their good content, and it's probably because of Amazon or whatever the fuck it is. Somebody at the top isn't doing their job right. They're out of touch with the actual streamer community. That's the real thing. And they're giving rules to different people. Alinity can do this. She can do that with her dog and her cat and that. XUC shows 1 pixel on a game, which wasn't the case before. You could show nipples if it just popped up. If somebody donates a bad word, you get banned for that. That's stupid. You're giving power to the trolls. That's why I don't stream on Twitch.
I think.
But wouldn't that mean that we should be on board? Wouldn't that mean that we should be against Alinity getting banned, though? Because I do agree that we do give too much power to the trolls, and that Twitch ban should be consistent. I don't think anybody is in disagreement on that.
No, that shit what she did was fuck. She threw her cat, she let the dog sniff her thing, and then she's pulling her fucking...
Okay.
I don't think she should have got banned.
Okay, Cutie, I want to hear from you.
I genuinely believe with all my heart, Alinity has not been talked about for about 2 weeks. She got a little stir crazy and thought to herself, wow, Amaranth doubled in viewers when she slipped her hoo-ha. Really Maybe I'll double in viewers if I slip my nipple.
Do you really think that? Does anybody think that?
Probably not.
Let's do the same thing then, QT.
The first part was good, second part was trash.
I'm a fucking girl. Let me talk about it. As a girl, you know when you might expose any part of this because you've been trained your whole life not to expose.
So nip slips are a myth. They're a myth.
No.
I'm just saying she
Good point.
I grew up as a girl too. I grew up as a girl, and I was very unaware of my breasts until everyone is pointing them out, and I'm still like I still don't have this. And you can say maybe it's me being non-binary, but I internalized that rule so deeply. So I don't think we can generalize all women and say, as a girl, this is what's happening.
And Cutie, I'm gonna hold on. Can I back up? I was in Mexico, QTcinderella. I was in Mexico playing volleyball, and this girl was wearing a two-piece swimsuit, and her tits were out for at least 35 minutes until somebody said something about it, and she had no idea. Okay, she had no idea that her boobs were out. She was very competitive. She was diving for the balls, and nobody had the. Honestly, nobody could say anything.
I think this girl is on her stream. This girl is on her stream where there's a dress code where you have to be very aware of how you're presenting yourself. You're not picking your nose on stream. You're not picking a wedgie on stream. You're not doing these things on stream. So to be stuffing something up your shirt, I'm just saying.
No. I think there is. She might be trying to be sexual on stream, but I don't think she ever intended to show her tit.
I think it should be handled.
I think that Cutie is onto something, and I think that but it's not on purpose. I think that there's a middle ground here. I think she did that, and if something slipped, she would welcome whatever came with it. But I do not think that was her direct intention when she did whatever she did.
If she's let me ask you this: if she's so cool with showing off her tits, why did she work so hard to get rid of that clip? You know, she copyright striked the clips, so they couldn't even like.
I mean, because she has to pretend like she cared.
No, to control the narrative.
I kind of agree.
This is just getting so far. You're
okay, so I think it's so far.
Nim, I'd love for you to follow up if you want to continue. You haven't had a chance.
I don't think there's much more to. I don't know why people are so obsessed with these crazy.
I think the way that
TriHex. I'm not trying to defend Alinity here. I don't think. I think she's done playing TriHex fucked up. But like that she's
after Nim. Sorry, Nim, finish. I thought
that was crazy. You good, Nim?
Are you? I want to let you finish.
Go ahead. Whatever.
TriHex, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm fine.
So yeah, so now we're getting into the external of the incident itself here now. So if you're bringing up the DMCA strikes that Alinity enforced on having her clip like not migrated everywhere else here, then we gotta pause it for a second and bring up the elephant in the room here, which is the fact that on Twitter.com, the insane amount of body shaming that was happening over like the pepperoni nipple.
I couldn't believe pepperoni was trending, mate.
Look, irrelevant of how
it was
you feel
trending
about
on Twitter.
Irrelevant of how you feel about Alinity, that is some super toxic mega bro shit here. There are people who are calling out, "Oh wow, your nipples are not pink." Holy shit! Like it's practically like race baiting.
I'll take a brown nip.
Porn was more normalized. We know the different colors of nipples.
Yeah, that is a. There are some definitely some conscious bias coming from some things going on right now, and I thought that was like mega toxic.
Yeah,
if you don't have like porn perfect pink nips. Then also, what are you?
You want to know why it got so toxic though? Try because right. Listen, I know there's a hard percentage of people like that are just incels that are just riding on this, like they were with Catgate and every other fucking thing she's ever done. But the reality is, what the vast majority of the people that were banging on her about anything they can now are pissed off about is this like ridiculous double standard. Like it ain't even 9 lives with Alinity. Like. That cat. That cat got maybe more, less lives than her.
No, and I hear that, but
she's throwing that motherfucker around. So
to make your point, you're going to belittle other women how they.
No, I'm not saying that.
I think we need to like distinguish.
No, I'm not making that point.
We need to distinguish this dialogue because,
as I just said, I absolutely condemn it. But what starts happening is with online discourse, when people get frustrated by imperceived injustices, they have a tendency to be more extreme in their vitriol as a result of that.
Can I mention something?
We've all experienced that.
I want Nim to come back though. Nim was talking. And then I'll get you.
I just wanted to real quick say that it's a very different question talking about whether or not Alinity should be banned or whether or not showing your nipple should be banned. I feel like we keep mixing those two up and people keep talking about like throwing cats and stuff. I don't think it's necessarily relevant to the discussion, but we can have that one.
I think the way Twitch should handle it.
Yeah, so it seems like people are mad at two things: the consistency, like Bob said, and then they hate Alinity. And then I think there's a little bit of like weird misogyny.
She's deserved to be hated.
Yeah, and a good way to be consistent. If they did a public poll and they just asked all the employees in Twitch, they had to either check a box like, was this sexy or not sexy? I think people would mostly do not sexy, which shows that it's a mistake and that she shouldn't get banned.
Okay, and so that's trash. We're gonna throw that out. I just want to say with this, like, look, I've been online. We all have for a very long time. The only thing that unites people, no matter who you hate, no matter what race you are, is animal abuse. So as soon as an animal is hurt, someone could have just called me the N-word. Now we're looking for them, their address.
The animal probably liked it when he was sniffing up her fucking, genital area.
Oh my god.
But my point is that like TriHex had a really good point saying that the pepperoni nipple was shamed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But TriHex, I'm just letting you know, just personally, it is so hard for me to care about what she feels after I've seen all the shit she did to her cat. I think that has to always be relevant.
But also attacking.
That's fair.
Can I
Hold on. Finish the thought.
Do you want controversy?
Was not to
I'm gonna get you
fragile to Alinity's feelings. It's more like the unspoken victims who have brown nipples now, who may feel less attractive. Or,
am I allowed to say that it was?
One second, Bob. After TriHex, Hasan, please. Go ahead, Hasan.
I want to make her feel good about it. Like,
Hasan, Bob, please step away from that. Check your DMs. Go ahead.
This is gonna
Hasan. Hasan, go ahead.
This is going to frustrate people probably because anything that even looks like I'm defending Alinity is going to piss people off. But here is the truth about the animal shaming part. I originally thought, it sets a bad example that she's like feeding vodka to her cat, or that she's chucking her cat in the air even though they have dexterity. I thought it was bad, and I thought that a ban was warranted in that circumstance. However, what I found to be interesting that we rarely ever talk about is that her local SPCA actually went to her house and did an animal wellness check and closed an investigation and said that there was no harm and no wrongdoing in that circumstance. So unless we're saying that, like, as Twitch viewers, we have a better understanding of animal abuse than the Saskatoon SPCA, which, does this for their entire, this is their job, then I don't know.
But she fed it vodka. That's definitely what has to be.
But that was, I know, but that was one
like there's a lot of body shaming going on.
Yeah, but that was one of those.
But she was private. If she does that on
how do you defend? How do you defend Alinity from the body shaming? I feel like the trolls just win because like they're saying like it's ugly, but then at the same time, like if you say it's beautiful, then you're objectifying. Like how do you win? How do you defend it? How do you fight against the trolls, dude? How do you?
That's just the internet. Body shaming, because wasn't that why she was stuffing a pillow in her stomach, was to fat shame, and then she accidentally showed a nipple? Like, it's kind of like she's body shaming.
I don't think she cares about her nipple color. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that.
That's
just the internet. They always talk about it.
TriHex was only trying to say that it started a hatred of a body part that shamed a lot of innocent women that now are going to look at this. He wasn't. It was two separate things.
Yeah,
he was just saying
what's worse than that? The K-pop industry. They make younger people think worse of themselves than that shit. That's just the internet. I barely saw that anyways, the nipple shit. That's true. Don't look at me like that, Sky. It's true. The K-pop industry makes like 14-year-old like middle school girls like hate themselves. And that's just fact of the matter. That's worse than this Alinity shit. 100%.
So because it's worse, it's not worth covering right now?
Two wrongs don't make a right, bro.
I want to go back to what Hasan said, because Hasan brought up something, and Nobody had a problem with it because Bob changed the subject, which is fine. But let's go back to it. Sky, did you have a problem with it?
Wait.
Oh, who had a problem with it? Sorry, I heard somebody.
Wait, can I go back? Wait. Who earlier said I was objectifying because I called
No.
Wait, what was that take? That was some pagan shit.
What I was trying to say is that there's people body shaming her, right? And say if I want to defend her, it's not like I could say that it's beautiful because then I'm objectifying the boob. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to defend her and say like her body's beautiful, but I also don't want to objectify her.
You pivot off the one about the nipple color. Beauty. You just say that doesn't matter. Stop over focusing on that. Like she has value. She doesn't have to be beautiful to have value. She just has value.
Okay, so
are you okay, Bob? Do you need a pen and paper?
I agree with that.
Does anybody dispute? Does anybody have anything to say at what Hasan referenced, the ASPCA or her local animal rights welfare?
You can't feed your cat vodka.
They did a welfare check and they cleared it. Does anybody? Go ahead, Sky.
You just can't give your cat vodka. I don't need a patrol to go over there and check this out. We saw the bitch do it. We saw the cat. So there's the clip. Yeah, exactly. So and am I saying that one isolated thing is gonna just blow everything up? Maybe not. But that judgment, that's trash.
Do you guys have animals?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I have a little baby angel. His name is Kitten.
I had a couple.
Okay, Sky, come on, bring him on the camera. Come on, show
So you know that when you have an animal and you have an animal that's abused consistently, or even in that one circumstance, you're saying it's a pattern of behavior, right? Like if she's feeding vodka to a cat on camera, what is she doing behind the scenes, right? Obviously, there are clear patterns of abuse with animals, and that the SPCA is probably capable of figuring out if these animals were genuinely harmed or not. That was the take I'm making, and I know that it's not the best thing to do is defend Alinity, and I don't really give a shit. I don't know anything about her. I've never watched her content or whatever. But if we saw the fucking vodka clip, you think that the SPCA, which got thousands of fucking calls, saw that as well? Including PETA,
regardless,
they saw it and they looked at the.
There's a couple of things there. You can't feed your cat vodka. There was wrongdoing there. Maybe there wasn't a pattern and they didn't find a pattern. But of course, anyone would say that was wrongdoing. You cannot feed your cat that. That is animal abuse.
And maybe she's only doing that on stream. It's kind of speculation for me to say that, what happens online, offline. I kind of thought that, but I get it. That's not really fair to say. But that to me just means that now this cat is being used as a prop. And in that one instance, it was fed vodka. And yes, cats have dexterity, sure. But I mean,
you hear this insanity? Why are we even discussing if vodka is getting your cat vodka is a bad thing or not? It's just bad. It's just bad. Leave it at that.
I think we can all agree on that part. But what Hasan was trying to say is, I guess the animal rights organization went and checked and cleared her. So.
Yeah, well, I agree with
the question. Do you think they're wrong? Do you guys think that they're wrong?
It's wrong to
no.
On that basis, it's probably wrong to characterize her as an animal abuser and use that broad term. That suggests she's abusing all of her animals all of the time. She's not fit to own pets. But just because some fucking mall cop pet detective went round a fucking house and saw that the cat, there's a box for the fucking cat to sleep in and cat food in the cupboard, and the cat wasn't it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got all its fucking legs. Brilliant. That doesn't mean that she's completely absolved of any fucked
Dude, I walk the streets and I see dogs chained up to walls and shit like that. They probably get called to those and they don't do shit ever. I've had a
They don't even have any authority anyway. What they gonna do? What? Take
I'm Canadian, dude. They fucking suck. I lived in Manitoba. My neighbor had fucking abused this dog, and they would do nothing. They would do nothing. They're useless.
Oh, someone abused it.
Because they would never do it in front of them. They would just show up and be
It's not even about whether Alinity is an animal abuser or not, right? It is about, we're just talking within the dominion of Twitch. We don't know what goes on in a life off Twitch. We only know what happens on a life on Twitch. And she has violated Twitch TOS. She violated it with Catgate. Unquestionably, if it had been any other streamer, the penalties would have been more severe. In fact, what was crazy... right? There's a live example of that. Nicole got banned indefinitely and ended up serving about 2 years because she handled her cat roughly one time on stream once because it blew up and went to the front page of the League of Legends subreddit. Yeah, and she was straight out, right? And I was the one saying, listen, one time rough handling a cat doesn't mean that you're an animal abuser, so I adopted the Hasan position within that. What I'm talking about here is, with Alinity, Twitch were even running offensive for her, going, well, we've investigated it and it's fine, there's nothing to see here, and they ignored PETA, who, by the way, are a fucking garbage organization. But, the whole thing was fucking, the double standard is what pisses people off.
I agree with that, by the way.
Oh, I know, dude. Of course you do.
I think of course there's a massive double standard in the enforcement. I usually err on the side of like not banning someone unless it's like.
And
fucking,
I agree. If this was her first fucking nip slip, dude, I'd be like, what the fuck are we even talking about?
Yeah.
But there is a pattern of behavior where she deliberately games the fucking Twitch system, and I absolutely do believe that this is contrived behavior. I absolutely do believe.
I think she would have smiled
deliberate.
if it was on purpose. I think she would have smiled.
She does it purposely because she knows she is
Did you see her face? She was like,
from any long-term effects.
You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's exactly how I would act if I accidentally showed my nipple. I'd be like,
dude,
oh, no.
think about how much money she could make if she just sold that thing. If she just took a good picture and just sent it out online. I'm just saying, like, why would you do this on purpose, man?
Well,
my other nuclear take on this is
that watches Alinity and gets
I'm defending
Rajj.
Let me defend
knowing
Alinity.
that you tune in, and at any time spontaneous nudity could happen. You're more likely to come back day in, day out. She knows that, and that's why.
So, Bob, would
happens.
would you dispute what Richard is saying? That you don't believe what he's saying is? Do you think it was deliberate?
That it was definitely an accident. What the fuck?
No way.
I don't know if it was deliberate or not. I don't know if it was deliberate or not.
I don't know her personally.
This clout she's getting right now.
Go ahead, Lumi.
Here's another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You can get clout, but not. And again, this is me saying I don't know Alinity, but not all clout is good clout. I personally wouldn't want that. Maybe Alinity is different. I don't know her personally, but we could deal with this very easily by not having this sexist rule. Just get rid of it, and then if you normalize that, that's not a big deal.
100%.
Okay, so I want to
think about how
follow
much
up here.
money
Hold
she would
on.
make if she.
Hold on, guys. Bob, let me redirect the conversation just a little bit. Okay, I want to talk about the free the nipple movement, and I want to lecture fan. You haven't spoke at all on this topic. Do you believe in freeing the nipple and allowing?
Sounds like moral.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Boobs and pecs to fly freely.
We should leave them in a Christian book. Follow the Christian overlords.
Let
man.
lecture fan speak. He has an opportunity to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't agree with free the nipple movement. Come on, whether we like it or not, female nipples and breasts are sexualized, and I don't agree with.
So
9 times out of 10, I don't agree with Twitch bans. I really don't. I think their freedom of speech policies are absurd. I really disagree. The one thing I do agree with Twitch on is the prohibition of nudity and over-sexualized content and everything like that. I think that's a good policy that Twitch has. And of course, I don't agree with free the nipple. It's ridiculous.
So your take is freedom of speech. As long as I agree with it, is that literally
freedom of speech, except for
is ridiculous.
sexualized content
Hey,
and
lecture
nudity.
fan, just curious. And in the 1930s in the United States, men were not allowed to show their nipples at beaches either. Do you think that we should be having men wear that as well, wear shirts at the beaches? Because honestly, their nipples, I don't want to see their nipples. I think that's moral rot. Oh my God.
I get super turned on.
I honestly thought that men were not allowed to show their nipples on stream. I honestly didn't think that Twitch allowed them to show
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hold on.
context.
I think male nipples are really sexy too. I mean,
True. I believe so as well.
I know, Lumi. We're trying. The cause, I suppose, is to desexualize the nipple, right? Is that the cause? But it's hard for me to. What do you have to say to those like myself? Who like to, in sexual activities, some of us like to lick on a little nipple. Hey, it's all right. I'm talking about
sexual activity. You might like to lick someone's neck or nibble on their earlobe, right? But we're not covering those. So I don't think that we need to cover everything that we consider sexual during sex. We don't have to consider women's breasts sexual. A lot of societies don't. So I just think it's kind of absurd.
Sometimes I grab hair during sex, but I don't want them to hide their hair.
It's
also I grab hair.
You can't break society's taboos with a flip switch, and Twitch is not the platform to start that. You know what I'm saying? Twitch is like, oh, let's free the nipple.
Wrong.
You know what's gonna happen?
Wrong. We hold on. I think Twitch has broken the taboo and sort of gaming culture in many ways, right?
Yeah, but that's not a sexual taboo,
but
Raj.
who's to say that we couldn't break something? We already did one thing.
Raj, Twitch will become a different website if suddenly we're like, you know what, women, free the nipple.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly.
Free the nipple!
Campsite.
Just okay.
Because here's the
It
deal.
doesn't have to be a campsite. No.
I tell my friends, my family that I stream on Twitch, I don't want them going around and just seeing all these girls with their boobs out because it's non-sexual.
But the thing is that it would only be in specific context.
Okay, but male
Right?
nipples.
It does not have to be sexual.
We're really not.
Male nipples
We
are currently
can,
allowed. Do you
though.
see everybody
Society
naked?
can change
Hold on.
quickly.
Hasan.
Not.
Hassan, what were you
Male
saying?
nipples are currently allowed on the platform. Do you see everybody running around naked? No, obviously it doesn't matter when something is allowed on the platform. People aren't going to be letting out the puppers, okay? They're not going to let the magumbos out on a daily basis.
Remember when people said that breastfeeding was going to take over when they said that was okay?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, breastfeeding is going to be the most popular thing on Twitch now. And
Yeah,
you know,
and
they nailed
I
it.
believe-
It's getting 20,000 viewers.
Yeah, let the puppers
out.
out.
That nipples are
In
allowed.
Canada, I think it
There
was
are
in
body
Canada
paint
somewhere
streams,
they
by the way.
legalized it and people still don't do it, and that's okay. But then that would allow someone like me to, you know, have a conversation. Maybe I have an educational conversation on how my breast reduction went and explain to that how that went, right? And that would be, maybe some people would come in and be like, ooh, sexy or some weird bullshit, and my mods would just ban them because we're not dealing with that. And that
You
would
can't
be a
stop people from
slow
jerking off. They'll
step.
jerk off to anything.
I mean, of course they'll still jerk
I
off,
have
but they're
to
banned from my
second
chat.
that.
And we're
Gonna
not
keep squeezing
allowing
it even
that
if you
to
ban
be
me.
sexualized in my chat, right? So it would work towards that and hopefully break a little bit forward. But I think qtcinderella has a point in that maybe this isn't the best place because I don't know the issues around Amazon. There are a lot of issues around specifically minors and being able to see this content just around technology. Technology and the culture around that seems to have a big problem. And Twitch, I don't know if it'd be the best place to start. However, we could try. Pushing where you can push, I think is good to do.
So do you think Alinity in any way showed her nipple as a way of like
no
solidarity? Like, was she trying to show her nipple?
No,
to
I
say
definitely
she's
don't
just
think
being a
that. But I
dumbass.
just
She's
think
being an
that we
idiot.
could take the wind out of this problem by not having it. Because people are mad about the inconsistency,
What if
right?
there was- It was
it's
brave.
the inconsistency.
I think Alinity
but if
was
it's not
brave
a
now.
rule
You've
break,
changed
my
we're
mind.
not
It was
even
brave.
having this conversation.
I'm not encouraging
So,
this.
no, I don't think she was like, ooh, free the nipple. Like, I don't think she was doing that by any means. But I will have this argument. Like, it would not be a problem.
Free the
if we
nipple
just freed
movement
it.
would eat into Alinity's business by quite a bit, so I'm pretty sure she's not for that.
I think Alinity comes back to Twitch. She's gonna have double the viewers. She's gonna be like, "Pog you, that
But
was super
I-
cool." In
I
a few
think
months,
she-
she'll
I-
accidentally
she's
show her
gained
nipple
viewers
again.
from
Did you
this,
see how
but
she
she
turned
sits
into
at
a
like
positive PR thing? Because she even tweeted out saying, "Oh, I was only banned for a day, but I'm trying to get them to increase it to 3 or something." I'm like,
What a queen, honestly.
yeah, all right.
Like, what a hero.
Okay, but she's
just
like,
damn
what is she supposed to do though? To be
she's like, damned if she does, damned if she doesn't.
what is she
like,
supposed to do?
Wait, could I?
My question is, what is she supposed to do? TriHex, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, let's slow down for a second here because like weren't there like Twitch rules made recently, like recent updates to nudity now concerning like body paint stuff like that?
Yeah,
Her
and you
boob
can't
is
show
no
nipples.
good.
That's what it is.
So you can't show nipples now. So like, okay, so my question here is, all right. So I'm wondering how oppressive this actually gets here, because if we're going to talk about the unfortunate and upsetting reality of how inconsistent Twitch TOS enforcement is, and it has been for like years on end now. It's not like it's not like a 2018 problem. It's like a 2016 almond problem. It's actually a meme how pathetic and how long it's been like dragging their feet on fixing this shit. But let me pause a second here and ask here. So like, if you're a female and you wear like a shirt and like your, I don't know, nipple areola outline is visible, is that like, how oppressive is this like anti-nipple shit we're seeing on Twitch right now?
I don't know. It's crazy because like I think of
Like,
like
do you
when
feel
I had,
scared? Like, are you scared to?
Jobs. I had retail jobs, and in the like dress code, it said like you have to wear a bra. Which
You
is
always wear
like,
a bra
I
when you're
feel like Twitch can't do that because I mean I think there's a difference between me wearing a bra and Casey's my friend, so I can say this, and Casey wearing a bra. Like I can get away.
What's the difference?
With well, there's a lot of difference. Like
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I could wear a bra and literally no one would know.
Casey got some breasts.
Everyone would
Casey's got milkers.
So it's like I feel like that's not like it's such a crazy thing to even define. I don't think they can ever define that.
So not only that, but then my part two is also the fact that like ultimately breasts are not genitalia, right? So that's like the whole thing here. Like that, can we not get into that categorization discussion right there? Because like again, Lumi already hinted at it earlier, but like things can be fetishized beyond your control, but it should be upon the individual's right to like.
Were you here for the talk about breastfeeding? the mother feeding, and everyone was going mad and saying she should be banned.
Yeah, breastfeeding's a natural, like, I
absolutely.
personally say free the breastfeeding as well here, but.
Right. So I'm not, for me, I'm not talking about, do I want to see, you know, boobs on Twitch? Should we allow it or whatever? Because if it was down to me, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Like, have at it. Make it age appropriate. Make sure Twitch was actually doing age appropriate checks instead of anyone just being able to create an account and check a box. And that's all they do. And actually get your security up to snuff. But the reality, here's how I'm looking at it. The rules are this. This one person has serially and habitually broke the rules continually to our own advantage for attention, and Twitch takes a very light touch with that individual for reasons that we can't fathom. Meanwhile, other people
Velvet's getting banned for big boobs.
You know, some animals getting, you know, some action.
Velvet7 she's just getting banned for having big ones. Like she's just.
Yeah, I know a lot of women who stream on the platform that, like, for example, what qtcinderella's wearing on has got has got them banned.
Whoa,
and
that shaken's a little too sexual.
Banned for 7 days.
There's nothing moving.
Okay,
so the reality has to be this: like, there's a bigger question here, and it comes down to, why is it certain streamers can have this outrageously bad pattern of behavior, and it's just a slap on the wrist all the time, but other streamers that are similar of far less or similar transgressions get the ban hammer from
I have a speculation on this.
LSF should decide.
I have an answer for this, I think.
I agree.
Okay, here's what it is. I think that, and you guys would probably agree with this, that, like, there is more than usual, of a pile-on Alinity that you don't really see for other content creators, and some of it is for good reason, and others is because everybody just kind of wants to get on the train. But from Twitch's point of view, she's a relatively large female content creator, and I think that they probably see this as someone who's getting piled on by, like, angry incels on the internet, and it almost looks worse for them not to defend Alinity in this circumstance. And unironically, the people that, like, hyper focus on every single thing that she does and then makes a bigger deal out of it make it less likely that she actually does get punished for shit that she does on a regular basis if she is actually violating Twitch TOS a lot. I don't know.
And then we come on Raj's show and we're forced to care about it and have an opinion.
Okay, so
here, Raj, let me get you banned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if that would get us banned, honestly. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on.
By the way, that was a 5-head ass take, and if you guys are still saying simp, you're just fucking horny and mad. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's time.
I still think it's a good take, but that doesn't mean she didn't do it on purpose.
Guys, it's time to move on from the topic.
If a person watches this video, chat 1, and has to delete all whip emotes and no longer accept whip songs.